breaking news. Welcome to today's headline. Why I said Biafra can never be defeated. Soyinka. Why I said Biafra can never be defeated. Soyinka. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has opened up on why he said Biafra can never be defeated. He revealed what he meant by that expression that at the public presentation of his latest works, 2-volume collection of essays entitled Of Power and Freedom, and a soon-to-be-released collection of poems. The program, tagged Wole Soyinka in retrospective, held on Sunday 20th November at Alliance Franchise, Mike Adenuga Center in Ikoyi, Lagos. The distinguished writer made the revelation while responding to a question US-based Nigerian writer and journalist Mr. Oke Indibe asked him as one of the panel discussants the role of memory in keeping historical experience in focus for people. Indibe asked, "In your collection of essays, there is this line that stood out for me that I think encapsulates your ethical practice. And you said that history must not be allowed to gather cobwebs, and that history requires constant evocation as contemporary touchstone." I'd like for you to elaborate on this. The role of memory in keeping historical experience in focus for people. Because there is this sense that what is the past in a lot of ways is past, and history, of course, instructs and informs the present. I was struck by this stipulation by you that history requires a constant evocation in contemporary touchstone. So please could you elaborate on that? Soyinka responded by saying that collective memory is the key, which is related to the mechanisms of relating reality to narratives, depending on the narrative that is given. Soyinka also said as important as collective memory is, it is also dangerous because a group of people can get trapped in it as a community. Here Soyinka was referring to the Biafra question, which has become a recurrent decimal in Nigerian politics, what with the endless agitations for the indigenous state of Biafra. He sees Biafra and the horrors that the Igbo experienced during the Nigerian Civil War as a collective memory that has refused, as the cliché goes, to be swept under the carpet. According to Soyinka, it was because of the hydra-headed nature of Biafra as a collective memory and idea that he said during the Nigerian Civil War that Biafra can never be disputed. But many people misinterpreted his assertion as though he were talking about the battlefield. I think by memory you talk about collective memory, not just individual memory. Because collective memory is the key. Is that memory which is related to the mechanisms of relating reality to whatever narrative is given to us. Because history is the narrative. But the collective memory, the active memory, is for me far more important. It is also the more dangerous because you can get trapped in it as a community. And some of that I think is happening to us here in Nigeria. I am referring, of course, to the Biafran War. The collective memory there is very strong. And even before the war, I warned that this collective memory might remain to plague effort at nation building, and that therefore everything should be done to avoid a war. When I used expressions like Biafra can never be defeated, people thought I was talking about battlefield. No, I was talking about the notion, the passion which enters the collective memory in active life, not just as a past narrative. This is what I warned against, and we see it happening today, he lamented. Soyinka also criticized the manner government removed history from the curricula of schools with the erroneous thought that would obliterate the collective memory, the war and the passion of a certain group of people. There is something which I never believed could ever happen to us, that the government actually stopped the teaching of history in schools. So naive, so stupid as not to recognize that there is something called memory, that there is collective memory, active memory in the present. The motivations behind that policy, with many of us who are going blindly around our business, not aware that we have been truncated. We have been rendered a people without history, constitutes one of the greatest crimes committed against even nation being, against humanity. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let's know what your view is